want to bring in one of the impeachment jurors who also witnessed the events Donald Trump is being impeached over, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island. Let me start with this. How much mental space is this trial occupying a U.S. Senate that is as busy as it has been in a very long time?
I don't think a great deal. Once the presentations are made, they will obviously have our full attention, and they should. But I think that some of us feel going into this a little bit like we did going into the previous impeachment, that a lot of the Republicans have already made up their mind, that they've made a political decision about how this is going to turn out, and that the evidence and the presentation by the House managers is not going to change their point of view. So we'll have to see. I think there's curiosity about how this plays out, given that this was personal for so many of us and such a humiliation for our country to have its capital ransacked this way. But I think the real effort will begin when the trial begins.
In terms of the trial, I mean, this was not, we do not have a complete factual record. I mean, as I sit here talking to you, Senator, a Capitol Police officer, Officer Sicknick, who will lie in honor tonight in the Capitol, lost his life. And you and I both, unless I'm missing something, have no idea how he died, at whose hands, in what context, what happened, who the perpetrators might be, whether there's, a search for them, whether they've been identified on videotape. I mean, that's just one of the many, many factual holes in the question of what happened that day. And I wonder how much you want to learn about that, think the trial is a venue for that, or the commission that the speaker talked about today.
Well, it's the old map maker's dilemma of how much detail do you want to get into on each little segment of the coast. You can end up never finishing your map as you dive down into the detail. Here, the question is a very broad one. Did the President of the United States acquit his constitutional responsibilities when he sent a mob, an inflamed mob, up to the Capitol for the purpose of their disrupting the orderly counting of the electoral votes, a direct assault led by the head of the executive branch against an ongoing operation within the legislative branch of government, and then, once he knew it was underway, failing to take any steps for a very long period of time to stop it, and indeed, according to testimony from the White House, information from the White House, I should say, actually delighting in the prospect that he'd created this tumult and this turmoil. So that's a pretty simple question. Was he acting the way a president of the United States should act, or was he violating the separation of powers, inciting a riot, and failing to discharge his duties to protect and defend the Constitution? You don't have to know who hit Officer Sicknick in the head with the fire extinguisher to know that Donald Trump failed at those duties.
Yeah, your understanding of the constitutional responsibility here, it's a point well taken. My journalistic instinct, which is to know as much as we can about this, which is still striking to me that we don't. The point about responsibility you make, I guess the final question here is, you said that most of your colleagues have probably made up their mind or made a political decision to have made up their mind. I do wonder how much the personal experience of it matters.
We'll see. We'll see. I think that the House, if its opening pleading is any indication, is going to put on a strong case, and it's going to bring back memories, and it's going to make people, I think, perhaps give a fresh thought to the politically comfortable position that they may be in. So I wouldn't rule it out at this point. A lot of my colleagues are honorable people. I just think they're in a political pickle on this one. And by the way, the things that you point out, we should figure that out. We should know a lot about all of this through the FBI investigation. We should know a lot about the role of our colleagues through House and Senate investigations. So I'm with you on making sure that at the end of the day, we have a full understanding of the criminal activity that took place on January 6th.
Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.